Well, Warriors, welcome back. It's Warrior Wednesday, and this is call number 4, and this webinar focuses on team building. And before I introduce our guest speaker, I'd like to take a moment to sincerely thank all of the team leaders of Athena's, both past and present, active and retired, because it takes a special person to work in direct sales. Beyond the products, direct sales gives people hope for the future. It gives folks a way out of debt to earn as much or as little as they want. And in 19 years, I've witnessed thousands of success stories. People paying for their weddings of their dreams, people staying home with their kids, family vacations, romantic getaways, new cars, new homes. And beyond the material things, there are these priceless gifts that this business offers, like experience, growth, confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, and friendships. Without the recruiters and the team leaders, none of it happens. So thank you to all the team leaders. Because of you, the shy girl in the corner was given a chance to blossom. Thanks to the team leaders, soul sisters have been united. Thanks to team leaders, people have found their tribe. So this call, well, it's not even a call anymore, it's a video. This webinar is about being a person who connects others to their desires, not just the sexual ones. Our team leaders go deeper. So if you're a team leader, thank you. If you want to become a team leader, you are watching the right webinar. So there's code words throughout this webinar, so listen carefully. Code words let us know that you were here, and they go towards your spoils of war. So your first code word is the. Your first code word is THE. It's the word the. And I encourage you to close out of your Facebook page, place your phone face down, out of reach, and focus on the learning for these next 30 minutes. If you don't, you won't grasp the content of this call. So if you're going to invest the time to be a warrior, be a present warrior. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce this webinar's guest speaker to you. Olivia Lee has been a goddess since 2006. She was a college girl when she decided to sell sex toys. And that one decision led a young woman from a small town in Maine to become an iconic figure in this company. And I loved her story. So she wanted to stay home with her babies, and she was sitting there flipping through the want ads looking for a job that was flexible enough to work around her kids. And then she realized she had all that at Athena's. And from that moment, that light bulb moment, she has been an unstoppable force. Her yearly sales are 6 figures. She knows exactly how much money it takes to live the life and lifestyle that she chooses, and she works her business to provide everything she wants for her family. She's popped the lock on that $10,000 treasure box a few years back, and I'll never forget the moment. So she pops the lock, she wins the 10 grand, and she grabs my face and she says, "I'm going to sell $200,000 next year." And that is exactly what she did. This is a woman who says what she's going to do and then does it. And this year she said to me, "I'm going to recruit 100 people." And she did it in 4 months. So I sent Olivia a necklace made of broken glass when she achieved that goal, because she had broken through the glass ceiling. No one had ever done what Olivia Lee had done. What I love about Olivia is that she's humble about her success, yet she is very willing to share. And on our preliminary call, when we discussed this webinar, I had like goosebumps the whole time. So I hope you feel the same at the conclusion of this call. So I keep saying call, it's a webinar. I am so grateful to share this time with you and the one and only Olivia Lee. Olivia, welcome back to Warriors United.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Well, Olivia, so many congratulations are in order. Like, where do I begin? So let's start with the most precious of all. You just had a baby girl, and just like that, your life changed again. So sweet baby Ava is now 3 months old, and you still managed to recruit 14 people in September. For most people, an infant would like completely derail their business. So how have you stayed the course?
So I had time to like sit and really focus on what was important to me. And going into my business at the end of this quarter, I knew that like I wanted to be home with my baby and be able to nurse her and, really stay connected to her. So I started like envisioning myself finding the right time to actually work my business. And I knew that I would have plenty of time during my nursing with the baby to actually just like, I pictured myself sitting in my chair in the corner of my room and being able to like connect with her. And then times when she was just really focused on nursing and eating, I could be on my phone and really take care of business right then and there. So I knew going into this last quarter that was going to be where most of my time was spent.
So it sounds like you're still working your business daily, even with an infant. So what actions do you take daily to team build?
So as all of you know, it's been very important to be very present with my kids. So I just started like being real with my customers and like Snapchatting and Instagramming and Facebooking, like every aspect of my present day that I felt, they'd be excited to see and share with me. I recently went and had my hair done since having the baby. And I was sitting there and the hairdresser next to me was like, "Oh my gosh, look at your little baby, how old?" And I was like, "Well, she's almost 3 months now. It goes by so quick." And she's like, "My son just turned 3 months and I had to leave him today for the first time. And it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do." And I was like, "Oh my gosh," like it hit me in that moment. Like I don't have to do that. And that was what the plan was from the start, knowing that I was going to have another baby. I wouldn't have to go through that moment of, that mom had to wake up that morning at 5 a.m. and she had to nurse her baby and then take a shower and do her hair and do her makeup and then make sure that the baby was still okay and then, pump if she needed to and then eat her breakfast and feed her older child who still had to get off to school. I mean, just that little hour of time in the morning, so stressful. And then the baby's crying in the car while she's driving him to her mom's and dropping him off. And, is it worth it in that day job to even make $100 to be away from your son all day? So, I mean, I know that that's not going to resonate and connect with everybody watching this video, but to me, it like really hits me. And I know a lot of you out there have small children.
There's a lot of people who live that life, Olivia. She's shuffling their baby off to a daycare so they can go and work and pay for daycare. It's like for some people, it's not what they want to be doing.
Right.
So are you reaching out to your customers and clients and saying, I'm staying home with my baby and this is, and I'm going to be able to go to the gym and
right.
all these things that you're able to do because you have your own business? Are you reaching out to your clients and letting them know?
Yep. So that's been the most like inspiring part of it is like, so throughout my day, I get to get up in the morning and I get to go to the gym and I know that the baby's okay for just 45 minutes and I get to focus on my weight goals, taking care of my body. And then I'm able to like take pictures of all of this. Like I'm at the gym right now. I know that so many moms out there are just thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm not going to have time to go to the gym today because of after all that, all I want to do is spend an hour with my children at the end of the night." So I'm able to, snap pictures and post pictures of those things. And I just feel like every time I post a photo like that, I get at least 2 messages of people like, "I want that life," especially on Mondays. Mondays are a big one because everybody dreads the big Monday going back to the day job. And so they really connect with that. They want to not dread Mondays anymore. I tell people Mondays are my Saturday. It's just, I never have to dread Mondays.
So, you are an established team leader, so what advice do you have for people who are just starting out or even people who want to reboot their team building mojo? What do you have to say to those warriors out there?
I think that was the hardest thing for me, like going into it and knowing that I was going to be successful with Athena's, but I was like, how am I going to get there? Like people need to hear what's about to happen. So I had talked to Erica Wallenhop about her success. And I remember her telling me little things like, I just do it, Olivia. Like it costs $5,000 a month to be me, so I just do it. And it was those little things. I was like, okay, so I need to find out how much it costs me to live and survive a month, and then that's what I'm going to start telling people. So it's not making things up or over exaggerating. It's just finding smart ways to word things. So I would say, I'm working towards being the #1 goddess this year, or, I am now your full-time goddess, for life, or it costs $8,000 a month to be me. And so I knew that those were my goals, and I was just able to start, not only envisioning it, but making my clients realize that I was very serious about my business and that I was going places, and they just wanted to be involved, whether it was to buy stuff from me or to join my team and have it as well.
So I love that you're real with your customers. You tell them what's going on in your life, whether it's I'm at the gym, look at this, I'm with my baby, I get to nurse my baby. I mean, you're real with your customers. So you're not just posting on Facebook, like, join my team, join my team, join my team. Like, you're engaging people by showing them how you live. And that's I think that's really the way to attract the right people. And speaking of being real, you dug yourself out of $80,000 in credit card debt. Can you tell us about that part of your life, especially seeing that many of our warriors are looking to do the same? Kim Boulay posted this raw and real buy-in video on the WOW page about wanting to eliminate debt. So here you are, someone who eliminated $80,000 of credit card debt. Can you tell us about that?
So I think that debt is very embarrassing. Like, I started looking up quotes everywhere about debt so that I could start really talking about it and getting down to like the root of it when I realized what was happening. I kind of allowed myself to go into credit card debt because I was going through a divorce. I needed to be home with my kiddos, and I needed to like examine my life, figure out if I was going to go through with it, like what I just needed to find myself again and regroup. So I decided to pull myself away from my business a little. And that was when I sat and knew like what I needed to continuously keep doing, like that consistency of the business, to make sure that it guaranteed that my business would be there to get me out of debt. It was almost like I was using like my Athena's credit to like carry me through a few months of hard times. And I knew how, not easy, but what I had built and what I am capable of, I knew I could get myself out of the situation. So all of a sudden I was sitting, September, the kids went back to school. I spent the whole summer with them, and I looked at the debt and I was like, oh gosh. And then I realized like, I can do this. Before the end of the year, I'm going to pay this off. So like I said, I started looking up all these quotes, and it was very clear to me that debt was embarrassing. And so I started realizing like, I didn't want to like brag about getting out of debt, but I wanted to start talking about it right away so that people would see my journey through getting out of it. So I just started saying, I'm going to get myself out of debt. I was able to stay home with my kids, thank God for my business. But I'm now going to use my business to get myself out of this. And it was just making me be held accountable for that. But it was also showing my customers, if you join me, I can show you that this is possible. And then once I did get out of debt, I was able to have that big moment of like, wow, I did it. There it is. It wasn't, I just feel like you've got to be real. You really have to just air it all out. I mean, and not messy. You've got to be really careful and tasteful about how you do it. But, you've got to have a real goal and really, get it out there so people are on board with you.
I love that you show that everyone goes through hard times. Even the most successful of our goddesses in Adoni go through hard times, and you can get yourself out of it. You're not stuck. So what are some of the things that you've learned on your leadership journey?
I think the biggest thing is that not everything works. Like, it's so important to try things, especially when you hear of all the success that goddesses are having with certain things, and just give it a try. I mean, even if you say, I'm just going to do 4 of those and see how it works, mailing out 10 recruiting packets just to see if maybe now people like to get stuff in the mail versus emails or Facebook messages. I did that, and almost every single person has joined just from those 10 that I mailed out. So it worked. Other things don't work. Sending out blast messages don't work for me anymore. People can tell because they see how real I am through my public posts and then at my parties. And then if I really am one-on-one with them, they can feel that energy. And I feel like they can tell right away if I'm just copying and pasting things that aren't personal.
So what are some of the things that are working for you right now? It sounds like you've tried a lot of things. So what is working for you right now?
Oh my goodness, where do I start? So I just recently started voice messaging people through Facebook, and I'm so pumped about this because it's just a minute long. That's all you can record. So nobody's dreading listening to your message. And it is definitely more personal because they're hearing your voice, they can hear your tone, and it's just better for me. Like, I just get so excited to send these voice messages. I can use my thoughts instead of trying to like type all this mumbo jumbo and using both hands while I'm holding the baby. I can just talk into my phone and people are listening to them, they're responding, and I'm really pumped about it. So I encourage you to give it a try.
I love that. When we were scheduling our time to talk and record this call, that's how you were communicating with me. You were sending me these adorable little voice memos, and I just loved that. It was so much better than just reading. You could hear the warmth in your voice. So that's brilliant. So doing that with your customers is brilliant. And, you know, earlier this year, you recruited 100 people, and miraculously, you're on a mission to recruit another 100 people. Can you tell me about that?
I had to change my way of thinking. So I feel like there's two parts of Athena's. I feel like there's a sales part and a recruiting part. And sales have always had my heart. As you all know, I love selling. I'm in control of that. If things go wrong, it's my problem. If things go right, I get rewarded for that. So with recruiting, I have a hard time like letting go or knowing, you know, how much to give or how much to kind of hang back and let them figure out on their own. And so I had to like realize that if I'm going to recruit, I need to think of it in a different way. And my big aha moment was my husband looked at me and he said, there's 1.3 million people in the state of Maine. You're not going to saturate the business. It's not going to take away from your sales. You just need to share all of this so that people can copy what you're doing, I mean, essentially, and start making you money, you know, in a different way, and you're going to really find a joy in it. And so that was a big aha for me, because I feel like my biggest thing was I was like, oh my gosh, if we recruit, you know, half of the state of Maine, who's going to have parties? And I really had to let go of that and know that there's enough for everybody.
Oh, wow. That's a big moment. Like, that is a really big moment, just realizing that there's enough abundance for everyone, because it's the truth. How could, with 1.3 million people now, and how about all the people that are turning 18 every day, and the people that are going to be 18 next year and the year after that? I mean, it's unbelievable how many people there are that are still going to need our services and need what we do. So yeah, of course they're not all going to join. Some of them have to do Pampered Chef and Tupperware, you know. But the ones that join us, I love, like, those are our people. Those are the people that are committed to the mission of sex education. And you know, I'm so glad you're one of those people. And, you know, September meeting was so great. The whole weekend, from Golden Circle on Friday all the way till Nikki finished up on Sunday morning. I mean, it was a great weekend. And for you, you were recognized for qualifying your 100th recruit and your 105th and 110th. So you get to give your milestone speech on stage, which was really impactful. You were recognized at Golden Circle as one of the top 10 leaders of the year. Those are like big, huge achievements. So how were you feeling after the September meeting?
I have had this huge breakthrough. I really have. And I think it's just kind of like a newness in what I'm doing. Like, we get our new product line and we all vamp out our demo and we feel really good about it. And it changes the way we sell, you know, especially for the first few weeks of that. And even just joining Athena's, like, all of a sudden you have this new business that you've joined and you're super excited about it. I just feel like I have that breath of fresh air because I've looked at recruiting as such a different thing. I mean, as most of you know, like the first 4 or 5 years I was a goddess, people would come to me and say, oh my God, you're so amazing. I want to be you. I want to do what you're doing. And I was like, let me find you somebody that can help you because I do not recruit. It was awful. I don't even know what I was thinking. And then I started recruiting and I just didn't have a good system or a good way of being a good leader. And I knew what I wanted to be as a leader. And so then I just kept getting frustrated and I was like, I just want to sell. I just love selling the product. It's so great. It's so easy. It's so simple. You can't mess that up. And then I just started putting all these systems into place and discovering that I really wanted to recruit for the right reasons and get into it. And that was when I realized that I was going to start having this amazing team and it was going to be fun and easy and new and exciting. And so that's been huge. It's just, it almost feels like I've joined like another company or something just because it's so exciting and refreshing.
And team building like you did, Olivia, 100 recruits. I mean, that's a lot of people. So what are some of the highlights that you experienced as a result of recruiting 100 people?
We know that not everybody makes it. Not everybody has what it takes, you know, to really run a good, successful business, especially like the dedication to being your own boss. And yes, in the morning, I can take 2 hours to really do what I want to do for my business. But it really comes down to like recruiting everybody. This is, you know, let's give you the opportunity because you just never know. And then letting the people that can't make it, that it's not for them, weed themselves out, because then all of a sudden you have this really phenomenal group of hardworking, self-sufficient, you know, these women and men. I mean, they're coming to me and they're asking all the right questions, like immediately, like as soon as their training's done, they have the right questions. I think it's really been uplifting to still have so many people left after recruiting. You know, instead of just recruiting like 1 or 2 and neither one of them make it and you're like, oh my God, like what is wrong with me? Like having this big group come in and, you know, weed through it and have this amazing group at the end of it. It's really rewarding.
So here's a great question for you, Olivia. What makes you happy as a team leader?
So I think this year has been huge for Goddesses returning. And I guess just like the realness of people, like I've really started falling in love with my team. I'm going to do something really exciting at my meeting next week for the BBW night. I'm going to have everybody stay like in the big meeting room and they're all going to have discussions. It's going to be this planned out thing. And I'm going to go sit out in the restaurant in a booth and do like a confessional. And I'm going to have each of my team members come out and spend 5 minutes with me in the little booth. And they're going to just pour their hearts out to me, like why they're here, what they need. You know, if they want to be going to Disney World in January, this is how many parties you need to do. And because I find that when I start really connecting to my team members and finding out like what type of person they are, you know, I've had girls that have joined my team and they honestly, like they send me letters saying like, you saved my life. Like you didn't bring me a company, you know, you didn't bring me direct sales. You didn't bring me sex toys. Like you saved my life. And it's just, you don't notice that until you start really connecting to people. And so I've stopped spending so much time on the people that are just going to weed themselves out and really investing my energy in the ones that are good and they're here for the right reasons. And still giving love and support to the others, but not all that crazy energy. You can't do it for them.
That's the truth right there. So our warriors, I'm sure, would love to hear what your top team building tips are. So I know we talked at great length about them already. So Olivia, are you ready to share your top 3 leadership tips and recruiting tips with our warriors?
I am. I'm excited I was able to come up with them.
Here we go. All right.
All right. So my first one is finding your why for recruiting. And I wish there was like a better term to use for this because I feel like we overuse it almost with our business. But I want you to think of your business as 2 separate things. Sales, you have your why, you need to make money. It's guaranteed. If you have this many parties, you'll make this much money. For recruiting, don't like think of like what your paycheck's going to be from that, how much money you're going to make, how much time you're spending on your team members. Just really focus on why you're recruiting. So when I was trying to get out of debt, I really felt gross. I was like living this lie, and I couldn't recruit because I was like, who would want to join my team? Like, hey, I'm Olivia, come join me. I'll show you how to get $80,000 in debt. Like, it wasn't my business that put me there. Thank God for my business carrying me through it. But I just felt like I was recruiting for the wrong reasons. Like, you can't recruit to get somebody to go into debt. So then when I was going out of it, I was really recruiting for the right reasons. Like, come over here, I'm going to show you how to do this, do it with me, let's go. And then with the baby, staying home, watching Sarah Miller's video with her baby, like, I feel like my mindset is like, just do it. Like, you're home now. Like, if you want to go full-time goddess, like, just dive in. I mean, I know that sounds really scary, and some of you probably shouldn't quit your day job, but if you know what you need to do, just make it happen. Be home with that baby. So, for me, my fitness, my nursing the baby, like, all of those things are so important to me. And I'm only really honestly able to do those because of my Athena's business. So I want to show people, women especially, that they can do that, and that they don't have to leave their kids, their babies. They don't have to live all of this debt. It's just, I'm pumped about it. Having the right reason. So make sure you find your why for recruiting, because it is separate.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's number 2?
When you talk to people one-on-one, be real. Stop copying and pasting those messages. I find a lot of times I message people and they're like, I'm sorry, I can't join today. I need to wait till payday, which is Friday. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how is this happening to you? It shouldn't be, we have to wait till payday. So I never want these women to ever have to say, I have to wait till Friday to come up with $30. So I say to them, what day is payday? And they tell me. And what I do is I say with my voice message, and very sincere, I'm going to check in with you on Friday, since that's payday, and we're going to get you signed up, we're going to get you started, and we're going to make it so that you never have to say those words again. So really be one-on-one, in a real situation, like, connected to your recruit needs.
That's really huge. So number 3, what's number 3?
Oh my gosh. So figure out how to socially share your recruiting, stories. Like, really make it sound good. Don't just like copy and paste, a photo off of Google of one credit card and be like, oh, come join Athena's, you can be debt free. Like, I took a picture of all of my credit cards laid out, numbers covered, and I said, look at this is what it is. And I feel like people relate to that more, that real personal touch. So, find ways to share things on social media in a good way.
I think that's really important as well. Being real. I love it. You said that a lot lately, being real. So one of the things that was very exciting that we talked about is the systems that you've put into place for team building to make your life easier and more efficient. So can you share some of your top systems with our warriors? Warriors, this is where you're going to want to have your pens and pencils out. Get ready. This is amazing.
So my systems, this has been huge for me ever since the baby came, because I knew time was going to get tough. So I had to come up with some really, really good systems. My first system is in my phone. In my contacts, I put a little crown next to any goddess or Adoni that's on my team. The most time that takes is just putting their info in there, or removing it if they decide that they don't want to be a goddess or Adoni anymore. But now, when I have 30 minutes to sit down, nurse the baby, whip out my phone, do some voice messages to those goddess and Adoni, all I have to do is whip it up on my phone, quickly look through, think of anybody I haven't touched base with, throwing the spreadsheets out the window. Like, I feel like I was so tied to those. Like year 4, when I decided to go really deep into my business, I started creating all these spreadsheets, and then, I'd start getting stressed out that like nothing was moving off of them, and they were growing bigger, which is good. But, somebody would tell me that they couldn't join that day, and I'd go into the spreadsheet and put their info there. And I felt like it was a mess, and I wasn't staying committed to it, and I was dreading it constantly. So with my team, when I recruit people, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm never going to remember who Susie is and who Cindy is, and I'll never, have the time to really connect with them. So that has been huge. Then if I have a recruit lead, I put a little star next to their name in my contacts in my phone. Even if I'm over checking in with them, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just connecting, putting my name, in their heads. And then, like I said, when they write back and tell me that they're going to join on a Friday or the next Saturday, I put that into my calendar immediately on my phone. Just simple, clear as day. Sam Sue is going to join on Friday. And then I'll check in with her because it's in my calendar, it's there, and it's good to go. And I feel like a lot of people kind of forget that they're going to join the next Friday, or they don't know what to say to you that morning. So with me messaging them immediately, I feel like I've had this big boom of recruiting because they're like, oh my gosh, yes, today is the day. I'm going to join right now. What do I do? Where do I go? And it's done. It's there. So really set your systems.
So when you put someone in your calendar who says they want to join on payday, what do you say to them when you check in? Like, on payday, what do you say?
I usually do my little voice message, and I get really excited, and I'm like, oh my gosh, today's payday. We're going to get you started. We're going to get you signed up. Are you ready to join? And that's usually when they're just so pumped. They just had this big flow of cash come in. They're ready to go. And then I say, okay, here we go. Join now. And I send them my link. And I tell them that as soon as they sign up, to let me know what goddess number they got. And they just get so excited.
That's just great. So what you've shared so far is that for new recruits, you put a star. So people that are interested in joining, you put a star next to their name, and then you follow up with them. You just look for all the stars and you follow up with them. If they say they have to wait till payday, you go right to your calendar and you put in their payday. Mary Jane is joining today, and then on that day, you send them a message that says, today's your day, you're joining, I'm so excited for you. A voice message, not a little typed up thing, which I just think is so much more personal and a great way to connect. And then all of the people who become recruits, you put a crown next to their name, so that way you can easily go through and know who your recruits are.
Yep, it's been huge. And I've even had a few people just in this last month of doing the voice messaging, like, they immediately do their message back and they're like, oh my gosh, you sound so excited for me. Like, thank you. Like, your voice sounds so sweet. It sounds like you're just really, I'm getting so much good feedback from the voice messages. I feel like they're huge, they're simple, they're great.
So I'm going to give our second code word out, and it's right. R-I-G-H-T. Our second code word is the word right. What are your other tips that you have for leaders that have made your life easier?
I would say to kind of like throw away the guilt and doubt of, how much you're doing or how little you're doing, and just do it. I have one chart in my notes section on my phone that has all of my team members' names. Next to it is if they're Indie or Freedom, because I feel like that's a huge deal. Like, if I'm swinging a party and my hostess says I definitely need an Indie goddess, I can quickly go through and see who's Indie. And also having a check next to their name, whether they've finished their training or not. And then if they've qualified, I change the color font of their name. So just very, very simple, basic systems. Like, I swear to you, those spreadsheets, I would spend hours on them. And then like once a month, I'd be like, this spreadsheet doesn't work. I need to remake it. And so then I would like remake the spreadsheet. And it was just such a waste. I should have been spending that time working as a leader versus like trying to make up better systems that were just so complex. It was driving me crazy. So just stick to the basics, make your own little chart, color code it, whatever you need to do, and then just dive in, just start messaging people.
So when you have 100 recruits, I'm sure there's lots of people asking you questions throughout the day. So what have you done to make your life easier in that department?
Ooh, so make little blurbs that you copy and paste in the notes section. So I would have 3 or 4 team members all message me like the same question in a month, especially like about the blitzes and the WOW war group. Like, just have this little blurb in your notes section that addresses their question so that you can just copy and paste it. Although now with the voice messaging, it's very simple to just quickly send a voice message for certain questions, but just have all that out there so that you don't have to be like, oh my God, I've got to get back to 6 different people that don't understand what a blitz is, how to sign up for it. Just have it ready to go, send it. and then you're ready to rock. You don't have to dread it.
That's great. So you take the commonly asked questions from your new team members and you either type it up in a note section or you leave a voice message for those people. I think that's really smart because you will be asked the same questions over and over again. And I think leaders sometimes get desensitized thinking like, oh, didn't I just explain this to somebody? Yes, but this is a new person. They need this information. So I love the idea of having a note section in your phone with the commonly asked questions. So if somebody sends you a message about how, I'm indie, how do I get a Square reader? You have whoop, here you go. Just something that you can go right, cut and paste to or leave a voicemail. I think that that's a lot easier than just recreating it every single time. Smart.
And also and videos too. Like I found that a lot of people were saying like, what do you carry your stock in? I just don't know. Just make a quick video. I was like, here's the bags I use. Here's the bin I use to carry my demo in. And now when anybody joins as indie, I just tag them on that post. And now it's been like years since somebody's asked me what they should carry their stock in, because they see that and they start to get their own ideas and, they do a spin-off of it. So, things like that with quick sale, there's always so many questions about that for Indie Goddesses. I have one video, it's on my team page wall. I tag them right in it and good to go.
I love that. Really smart. Those systems, it takes time to build systems, but as you're going, you can build really effective systems that work for you so that you don't dread these tasks. You're just like, oh, here we go,
Right.
I love that. So, Olivia, what are your final thoughts for members of the warrior community that want to build a team?
Oh my gosh. I would just say to break it down. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do sales wise because I'm going to have a baby. I want to take some time off. So I should probably work on my team and build up that override check. So I just was like, I'm going to recruit 100 people. I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet, so it's going to be my new goal. And I found that I broke that down into months and then even into weeks. So say you have a goal of recruiting a certain amount, you break it down and you know that every 2 weeks or every week you need to recruit 2 people. Just do that. Go into the week feeling fresh, good, you're starting new. I'm going to recruit 2 people this week, and then just do it. Just make it happen. Now, if you don't recruit 2 people that week, I never rolled them over, and then all of a sudden the next week I'm like, oh my God, this week I have to recruit 6, and next week, I didn't recruit my 2, so now I have to recruit 8, and it becomes stressful and dreaded. You just cancel it out. You tried for your 2, you got 1, that's better than none. Now the next week, it's fresh, it's new, you recruit 2 again. So I feel like get your goal, find out what your goal is going to be, and then break it down and just do it. Just make it happen. It's a huge deal.
It really is. Olivia, thank you so much for the systems, for the inspiration. It really was amazing to spend this time with you. You're just so giving of these ideas and so real and so honest. And I appreciate that about you so much.
Thank you.
Yay. Well, I'm ready to announce the winners of the 2 previous challenges and issue a new challenge for our warriors. So in call number 2 with Talia, we challenged you warriors to make fall booking promotions and then post a photo of them in the thread. And we had so many creative, spooky, and fun photos that were posted. And we picked a random winner, and the winner and the winner of the Womanizer to Go is Rita Ann Milgavre. She's got us 11203. So congratulations to you, Rita, and congratulations to every one of you who took action and have super fun booking incentives. So please keep us updated on the WOW page when you get a booking using your booking promotion. Please share what's working. It helps all of us. And in Warrior Call number 3, Carrie Sellers told you of the story of how she got her husband to buy in to her business building idea of going to Daytona Beach, soaking wet in a towel. And then we challenged you to post your very own buy-in video on the WOW page. I was shocked that no one showed up soaking wet in a towel, although Christina Catley, she told us the story of how she did get to her husband wet in a towel to get his buy-in. I was floored by the raw, honest, bold ways in which you all shared. So thank you. I sat watching them. Some I was crying, some I was laughing. It was very emotional. And I expect all of you to reach your big, beautiful dreams. I know that you can do it. You have an army of Goddesses and Adoni friends who want you to succeed. So Ed chose the random winner of the Womanizer and the Booster Kit for posting buy-in videos, and the winner is Rachel Lamar. She has got us 10,390. So congratulations to Rachel, and thank you to everyone who shared. So who's up for another challenge? Well, this week, Olivia inspired us to recruit for the right reasons, and she gave us some really easy and effective systems to make recruiting easier. So to make with the team building theme of the week on this webinar, I didn't say call, I said webinar, I challenge you to head to the War page in Facebook and post a video of your recruiting why. Also in that video, have how many people you'd like to add to your team by December 31st, and then describe the kind of team you want to attract. So everybody get that? So you're gonna go to the War page, you're gonna post your recruiting why, how many people you'd like to add to your team before December 31st, and then describe the kind of team members you want to attract. Let's work on our manifestation mojos here. Let's really put good energy out to the world, because I really believe when you are feeling I am ready to receive my dream team, they will come. So you have until Sunday, October 8th at 11:59 to post your video. If you do, you'll be put into part of a random drawing to win a booster kit. That's $351 in free products that you can keep, sell, or add to your demo. So before I give you a chance to win a prize just for participating in this amazing webinar, I'd like to remind you that next Wednesday, October 11th, there is no Warrior Call. Instead, I'm hosting the October Better Business Workshop. So don't miss an evening with Jamie Blewin, Kerry Sellers, and Rebecca Richmond. So Jamie's going to be handling how to tie a knot. So she's going to do some bondage technique with you. Kerry Sellers is going to talk about closing out a party and ways to keep your business strong after the party is over. And Rebecca Richmond from New York is going to be doing her goddess demo. So it's a night of business building and inspiration, and it's ready for you, and I hope you'll be there to receive it. All raffle ticket money from the evening will be donated to the relief efforts for Puerto Rico, which is very close to Rebecca Richmond's heart. I'll be donating some of your favorite products to the raffle, so get your tickets and help us support such an amazing cause in this world right now. And the night of the BBW, we're also raffling off a trip to Mexico, all right? Well, actually, it's the money. So all the raffle tickets sold, that entire pot of money will go to one person to go to Mexico. So you may go for free, you may go for a discount, but it's 7 nights in paradise, and you could be the lucky winner. So tropical vacation. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on the face of the person who wins that money. And now it's time for me to give you a chance to win some items from the new line. One lucky warrior will win a fantastic penis ring, a bottle of Skinny Dip massage lotion, a Roar linen spray, and a womanizer to go. So submit your code words and your aha moment by midnight tonight on Warrior Wednesday, and you'll be entered to win the free products, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow. So now here's final code word and instructions to submit it. Fill out the Google Docs survey that was included in your email that contained this webinar. For your convenience, I have also put the submission form on the WOW and WAR Facebook groups. Click on the link, fill it out completely. And this is how we count proof that you were here for the spoils of war and enter you to win the items that I give away on these amazing webinars. So you must fill out your form by midnight on Warrior Wednesday in order to get entered to win. But you will have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday, October 6th to submit the Google Docs survey. So submitting the information later than Wednesday at least gets you entered for your spoils of war. So here's the final code word. Everybody ready? It's reasons. R-E-A-S-O-N-S. The final code word is reasons. So warriors, I look forward to watching your right reasons and hearing all about your team building goals on the War page. Thank you, Olivia, for being so open and willing to share. Our next Warriors United call is scheduled for Wednesday, October 18th, and stars Annie Driscoll. She's going to tell you how to have a December to remember. I hope you'll be there. Goddess bless everybody. Bye, Olivia.
Bye.